We're going to do our first song on ukulele. We're doing Riptide by Vance Joy because the chords are really cool and it's got a nice easy rhythm to get going with. Now these are two sort of typical ukuleles, can be fancy, can be transparent, but either ways they've both got 4 strings. Now I first want to make sure that because it's the first time you're playing that your ukulele is in tune. Now on the page that I've sent through with it, on the PDF file, on the right hand side about 3/4 way down it says string names. This string here I'm going to play is your A string. It should sound like this. If it's not, try tune your ukulele so your first string sounds like this. One more time. The next string is the E string. It should sound like this. One more time. Next we're on to the third string, which is the C string. Should sound like that. And then the top string is your G, and it should sound like this. Now I would suggest maybe considering getting a guitar tuner like this. Those are quite cool, so they just simply clip on the top of the ukulele like that. And when you play the string, it will obviously show you the note. Now I'm not going to get too much into that. And also, by the way, if you want to, there's some really cool ukulele how to tune your Uki apps on your cell phone. So just go to Play Store or whatever the Apple alternative is for your iPhone, and download a free ukulele tuner. They really are good. Just make sure that the string names coincide with what I've got written down on the page, otherwise it's not going to sound good. Now before we get going, on this WhatsApp message you're going to get the video you're looking at now, obviously, a PDF file that I'd like to suggest that maybe you print out. I'm going to send you a link to the original song so you can actually hear Vance Joy play it, so you can compare what it should sound like, and you can also hear the singing. And then it's time to get you going. Now I'm going to first of all focus on the chords. So we're first going to learn the chords and then we're going to put the rhythm with it. So I'm going to turn the camera a little bit more to focus more on the top end of the uki like this. I've numbered the fingers 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to do the same. Okay. And we're going to start with the first chord, which is an A minor. It's very easy. Middle finger goes to the 2nd fret, top string. Just so that you get used to terminology, this is the 1st fret. This is fret number 2, fret number 3. So the frets are actually the spaces in between the actual metal frets. It's sort of quite a weird concept. So that is fret number 2, and I'm using the middle finger, number 2 on the top string. If I were to strum it, I'm going to strum with my first finger, so I'm just going to show you the technique I'm using here. Strum first finger down. Now you can use a pick as well, so if you've got one of these or something similar, you can also use that. But I find with ukulele the picks are a little bit too loud, they're a bit too harsh. But it's not a big deal if you do like using one. One more time, with the finger, not with the side of the finger. Bad, good. Okay, on to the next chord, G. Now the chords we're using over here are very popular chords. We're going to sort of work towards learning 8 chords over the next few days so that you can get a good repertoire or a good selection of chords that can let you play lots of songs. So this is going to be G, and I'm going to show you how to play it. Finger 1 goes on to string number 3. Always count from the bottom. String 1, string 2, string 3 in fret number 2. Middle finger goes to the bottom, also the 2nd fret, and the 3rd finger goes to the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And you'll notice the pinky's not going to get used for this song, and it's going to sound like this. There's your G chord. And again, notice I'm strumming down. One more time just to reinforce it, because I want to make sure our techniques are good from day one. Strumming down, and if I were to strum up, I would strum with the inside soft part of my finger like that. Slow motion. And there you have it. We need to learn one more chord, and then we can start learning your first song. Next chord is C. Really easy chord as well. So it's only the G chord that's a little bit of a challenge. C has finger number 3, first string, 1, 2, 3, the 3rd fret. This is C, and it should sound like this. Okay, so one more time, if you can go through the chord shapes with me in your own time. It's A minor, slowly change over. Remember, the speed will come with time, so don't expect your fingers to move too fast the first few times. There's your G, and the C is nice and easy, like that. Now I'm going to focus more on the strumming hand now. Now we've got the uke resting on your leg like that for support, and then I've got my arm resting on the top half of the uke. So if I took this hand away, the uke is actually sort of floating by itself. And we're going to look at the rhythm now. Now for the strumming, we're going to strum round about here, sort of anywhere in that space is okay for us to strum. Anywhere over here, just strum a bit further back if you want to, a bit further forward, as long as you're comfortable. Remember, your hands or arms or legs, whatever, might be bigger or smaller or thinner or fatter than mine. So as long as you're comfortable, that's the important part. Anywhere between here, we're going to strum. Now, under the 4 chord diagrams on the right hand side, it says strumming pattern, and you'll see it goes 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus, and that should actually be read 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And we're going to notice that there's a down arrow under the number 1. So as I say 1, I strum at the same time. So we don't go 1 and then strum, we strum as we say 1. On the and after the 1 there's nothing, so you just bring your hand to the top without strumming. On the count of 2, you strum again. So the first part is going to go 1 and 2. And also, just to recap, don't forget to place the A minor chord at the top as well, otherwise the uke is going to sound a bit different. So one more time, 1 and 2. Now for the next and 3, there's nothing. So you can just move your hand to keep the rhythm with your hand, followed by an and before the 4. And that and is an upstroke. What's very important is that as you learn your songs, if there's a number, you always strum down. If there's an and, you always strum up. Okay, so and after the 3 and on the 4, we're going to go down. But that and 4 must be quite quick. And 4, like that. Because if we were to count the whole bar, we would go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We got that. Now I want you and I to try this together. Okay, we're going to take it slow. This is your target speed, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And we're going to try it now. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Once you've got that, try doing it twice in a row just to get your rhythm strong. Okay, so we're going to do this. I'm going to count, and if you want to join me, that'll be cool. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now the next step is to put the changes, the chord changes along with the strumming pattern. So we're just going to change the camera's angle again quickly. And now we've zoomed out, and you can actually see that my hands are free, but the uke hasn't fallen. In other words, it hasn't done that. Okay, so you actually got your ukulele resting on my leg. There's my leg. Okay, and I'm using my arm to secure it, so they're actually keeping my ukulele in position. So if I release my chords to change them, my ukulele can't do this, can't do that. Okay, we're going to start with A minor again, just to recap, and we're going to play through 1 bar, and 1 bar means you count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's 1 bar. You finished A minor, you're going to go to G, which looks like that. And if you're looking at your PDF file, that's where he sings dentists. So it's a G chord above the word dentist, and it's going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Simple as that. Also through once. And now at the end, when we get the C, we're going to do C twice through. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So your target, once this is working, is something like this at the correct speed. But slow motion, it's going to be like this. Now I'm going to count it in so that if you can keep up, that'd be cool to get the rhythm going. And I'm going to give a little bit of an angle so you can see the finger movement. Remember, don't strike with the side of your finger because it will actually hurt you on that little corner there between the nail. You strum like that from the nail down. Okay, are you ready? A minor's in place. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and G. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and C. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and second C. Now, without speeding up the strumming, try and get those gaps out. So this will be good. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Even slow is fine. It's all about keeping it smooth. Have you got that? Okay, so target speed again. Now you do this something like 16 times in a row. Don't even try and count them. Get used to singing along with it. And if you watch the words will let you know when he sings, oh, they come unstuck. And that is basically your prompt. That's part of the lyrics on the sheet. If you get used to the words, you'll know where you are in the song and you won't have to count 16 times in a row. If you've got any questions so far, please let me know. I'm going to send a second video through shortly, which is going to be the intro tune, and it's also going to have the chord F. But for now, before you do the second video, please get familiar with A minor, G, and C. That's your immediate goal. And your second goal is to get your rhythm 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 as well. Any issues with tuning, like I said, clip-on tuner again, something like this will be cool. Or even better, on your cell phone, App Store, and you will find Play Store a free tuner. Any questions, drop me a WhatsApp, otherwise have fun. Thank you.